All right, buckle up, everyone. Over 210 million copies.
Wow.
That's the sales figure for Grand Theft Auto V as of last year. Only Minecraft has sold more ever
Yeah.
in all of entertainment.
It's kind of hard to even wrap your head around that number.
Right. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
So, what is it about this series? Why does it command that kind of attention? And, why is the hype for Grand Theft Auto the 6 just off the charts?
It really is.
That's what we're diving into today.
It's just a staggering level of success. Think about it. If you combine all the main Pokemon games, they only just managed to beat the whole GTA franchise in sales.
Seriously.
Pokemon. Yeah. So this isn't just about video games anymore. It's a massive cultural thing.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've got some great stuff. We have detailed descriptions of GTA V, its world, its features.
An incredibly immersive world.
Exactly. Then there's a really sharp critical review from when it first came out.
Right. Looking back at that initial impact.
And also a pretty thought-provoking analysis on, well, the earthquake GTA Vinc-S might cause in the gaming industry.
Yeah, the potential disruption is huge.
So our mission today, let's try and crack the code, understand what makes this franchise such a juggernaut, and figure out what the next one might unleash.
Yeah, because when we look at the big picture, it's not just another game launch, is it? This series has consistently, pushed boundaries, sparked huge debates.
Oh, definitely.
And really reshaped the whole landscape for video games.
Okay, so let's break down the one that set this current stage. Grand Theft Auto V, what were those core things that made it such a monster hit? I mean, first off, the world, right? Los Santos and Blaine County.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just big. It felt, alive.
That's so true. The sheer density of detail was, well, it was amazing for its time.
Yeah.
You go from the, absurd wealth of Vinewood Hills to the kind of gritty feel of Blaine County.
Yeah.
Each place felt totally distinct. It wasn't just scenery. That believability, it lets players get really invested, leads to all that unexpected gameplay stuff. It's key for open worlds.
And you could just stumble across the weirdest things. Remember finding that, hidden yoga retreat way up in the mountains?
Uh-huh, yeah. Or some bizarre little shop in a strip mall you'd driven past 100 times.
Exactly. It gave you this feeling that there was always something else to find, even after playing for ages.
And that constant sense of exploration was just crucial. The game didn't just give you a map. It filled it with enough cool details and variety that it kept rewarding you for looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole atmosphere changed so much when you drove between places.
Mm-hmm.
Different vibe, different people.
Totally. Then the characters, okay, this was huge. 3 protagonists, Michael, Franklin, Trevor, all intertwined.
Oh, absolutely. That was a genuine game changer.
Wasn't it?
Each one gave you a completely different viewpoint on the world, on the story. You had Michael, the retired crook, having a midlife crisis.
In his mansion, yeah.
Right. Then Franklin, the young guy trying to make it, trying to get out of the hood.
Yeah.
And Trevor.
Oh, but Trevor.
Just pure chaos. Unpredictable doesn't even cover it. And their stories weaving together. It was really well done. Compelling stuff.
In the gameplay itself, so much depth there. Those heist missions, they weren't just shootouts.
No way.
They were these, elaborate multi-part jobs where you actually had to plan, make choices.
Exactly. Stealth or loud. It was up to you.
Right.
And the big score, that final big one, it just shows the scale perfectly. The planning, getting the gear, picking your crew.
Yeah.
It felt like you were really pulling off something major.
Yeah, it really did. And it wasn't just the big missions either. The world itself felt reactive. NPCs doing their own thing, random encounters just popping up.
That made such a difference. You'd be driving along and suddenly there's a robbery happening or you get pulled into some weird little side thing.
Uh-huh.
It made the city feel dynamic, full of stuff happening outside the main plot.
And the sheer amount of other stuff to do. Golf, tennis, scuba diving.
Customizing your cars like crazy.
Oh yeah, the customization. And playing the stock market, hunting out in the sticks.
Uh-huh, yeah, hunting. And the car stuff wasn't just paint jobs, was it? Performance tuning, too.
Mm-hmm.
Those extra activities, they weren't just tacked on. They felt like part of the world. Ways to chill out, explore, or, well...
Cause mayhem.
Let's be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause some mayhem.
And the music. The radio stations, they were practically characters themselves.
Oh, totally.
Such great music. And those commercials, the DJs, so funny, really added to the whole satirical feel.
They were curated so well. They just nailed the vibe for wherever you were driving. Captured that satire perfectly.
Yeah.
Cruising through Los Santos with the right song playing.
Yeah.
That's pure GPA.
Definitely. Now, our review source, they called the gameplay perfected. What were they getting at there? What did GTA V really nail?
Well, they highlighted how it took the core mechanics from older GTAs, the driving, the cover shooting, and just polished them to a mirror shine. Like the driving, it hit this sweet spot between feeling fun and arcadey, but still having some like satisfying weight to it.
So you could still do crazy stunts, but it didn't feel totally floaty.
Exactly. And the sheer number of vehicles, cars, bikes, planes, choppers, even tanks.
Submarines.
Submarines, yeah. The review mentions one heist needing a sub and a military chopper, and that wasn't even halfway through the story.
Wild. And the heists themselves got a big upgrade, you mentioned. More choice, different ways to tackle them.
Absolutely. The review points to that jewelry store job as a key example.
Yeah.
Go in quiet or guns blazing. Your call. And your choices mattered. Who you hired for your crew, how much you paid them.
Right, if you chipped out on the driver.
Yeah, you might regret that during the getaway. It
Yeah.
had real consequences.
And switching characters, that was so slick. Just flipping between Michael, Franklin, Trevor instantly.
But it wasn't just for show either. It let them design missions where you jump between them, playing different key roles in the same operation.
Yeah.
Super clever.
Yeah, it really was.
And each guy had a special ability, right?
Yeah.
Michael's bullet time, Franklin's super driving, Trevor's, well, rage mode.
Berserker mode,
Yeah.
I added another layer to the action.
Definitely.
And the missions themselves, they just went everywhere. One minute you're like towing a car for Franklin's cousin.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah.
Or riding bikes with Michael's son. So mundane.
And the next you're assassinating jurors on a timer or raiding a military base. The contrast was just...
Insane. Yeah, the contrast was a huge part of its charm. It could be totally grounded and then just completely bonkers, sometimes in the same mission. Kept you guessing.
Okay, but let's talk narrative and tone. This is where things get interesting and maybe a bit controversial for some. The review called it an intense triptych, nodding to classic crime movies and shows.
Oh, yeah, you could totally see the influences. Bits of Heat, Reservoir Dogs, maybe The Sopranos in Michael's whole deal.
Right.
Boys in the Hood with Franklin's story. The characters felt like archetypes from those worlds. Michael, the aging gangster wanting out. Franklin, the young hustler. Trevor, just chaos incarnate. Like Manson meets Tyler Durden or something.
And the voice acting the review mentioned, it felt jarringly real. Even saying they reportedly used actual former gang members.
That must have added this layer of authenticity. Made it feel really raw, blurring lines between the game and real life in a way few games did back then. Maybe unsettling for some, like you said.
But then the content itself, that infamous torture scene, the language, the dark humor, the review flat out calls it perfectly disturbing.
The satire is just relentless, isn't it? It goes after everything. Consumer culture, social media, reality TV, even the game industry itself.
Yeah.
That line from the review that the game hates you and the world that created GTA V. It's pretty powerful. It really captures that like deep cynicism running through it.
It sounds like it holds up a really ugly mirror to society. The reviewer mentioned a mission where you're forced to take out soldiers who aren't really painted as bad guys. That feels pointed.
Right. That moment really highlights the game's sort of nihilistic streak, makes the player confront the messy morals of the violence, that maybe there aren't clear heroes and villains here.
But even with all that darkness, the technical side was just undeniable. The graphics were incredible for the time, pushed consoles to their limit.
Absolutely.
And the world was huge, but it felt seamless, right?
Total seamless. Los Santos felt like a real, pulsing, living metropolis, as the review said. Sprawling, detailed, like L.A. The way it all flowed together, technically, it was a massive achievement.
And the reviewer pointed out all the little things you could do, the mundane stuff. Watching TV in the game, playing tennis, browsing that fake internet.
Taking selfies.
Taking selfies. It was like they deliberately put in ways to just waste time, like in real life.
Yeah, and that detail in the small stuff, it just made the world feel more believable, more lived in. Kind of meta, in a way.
The one thing the review dinged slightly was the radio. Still good, they said, but maybe missing the charm of older games without those really distinct DJs.
That's a fair point for longtime fans. The music was great, fit the mood, but those iconic DJ personalities from, say, Vice City or San Andreas, they were missing. It lost a little something there, arguably.
And then, GT Online. The review barely mentions it, calls it an extension, but man, did that thing explode.
Oh, it became way more than an extension. It turned the game into this constantly evolving online world, new missions, updates, a huge community.
Right.
It basically helped pioneer the whole live service thing we see everywhere now. It blended that Rockstar single-player quality with this crazy sandbox